Good morning to you. Welcome back for another bite-sized encouragement. I'd like to call these short encouragements something else, like lemon meringue, chocolate muffins, something like that. So if you come up with a good idea, let me know. Instead of bite-sized, but you know the reason they're called bite-sized is it's enough for you just to take a bite of and to chew on throughout the day. So I love the Passion Translation. This is actually poetry, the Psalms poetry on fire. And Psalm 29, when it comes to anything prophetic, is one of the really good, meaty Psalms, because it speaks about what happens when God speaks, the voice of God. And so I'm just going to read you the very last verse. And it says here, this is the one, capital O, speaking of God, this is the one who gives his strength and might to his people. This is the Lord giving us his kiss of peace. And so I believe, and I'm sure other people have said this, but this is my belief about prophetic ministry, not necessarily a prophecy that you get from somebody else, but when God speaks to you, prophecy is God speaking to his people. This is what happens when we hear from God. He's giving us a kiss of hope. He's you know, like a parent bends down and kisses their child on the head to show them how they feel about them. And so when God speaks to us, it's always about how he feels about us, and it's always good. You got to know that. In Christ, he sees us in Christ. We are his favorites, every single one of us. That's a mystery in the kingdom. I'm not his favorite. We are all God's favorites. So he's looking at us, and he's speaking to us to give us his kiss of peace. You know, peace that surpasses all understanding, that enables us to put our anxieties at his feet. When God speaks to you, things happen in your heart, which is why it's every believer's greatest desire and sometimes frustration. I can't hear from God. I'm not hearing anything. But remember, start with the scriptures. That's where, this is God's love letter to his people. But when God speaks a personal word to you and he breathes on the scriptures, or he speaks to you in a dream, or somebody contacts you with an encouraging word, and the person giving you the word doesn't know what it means, but you do, because you recognize that as the kiss of peace. Now, one of the things that we are watching on TV, one of the things we love to watch, is America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, or one of those reality shows where people go on stage and they put themselves in this vulnerable position, and they're standing in front of judges who are going to pull them apart or encourage them. But my favorite thing is when you see somebody's parent, either the mother and father or one of the parents, standing on the side, in the wings, and they are already crying. You can see the pride bursting out of them. Even if that child can't sing or dance or whatever they're going to do, the parent is so proud of that child just for going up onto that stage and performing. They already believe their child is a superstar, no matter what those judges are going to say. It's not going to change their opinion. And so you see the parents, especially the moms, you know, because obviously I'm a mom, and you see them crying and hanging on every word of the judges. And so whenever I watch that, I always imagine that that's how God is, that he's watching us with pride. No matter what we do in this life, that we belong to him and we have a purpose, and we're here to represent Jesus and to be ambassadors of the kingdom, and he believes in you. You got to know that. But the best thing is that he's not standing there on the sidelines hidden away from the crowd. He says, I'm with you. Joshua chapter 1, he said to Joshua, you know, be strong and courageous. He said, wherever you go, I am with you. And that's what he's saying to you today. I know somebody needs to hear this. He's not standing afar off just watching you. He said, I'm going to be right there with you. And in the midst of tribulation and challenges and anxieties and stresses and whatever else we go through daily in this life here on planet Earth, God promised to be with his people. His favor is on us, his blessing is on us, and his presence is all over us. So be encouraged with that today. That I'll read it again. Psalm 29. Maybe go and read the whole psalm yourself. It's nice in the Passion Translation. The voice of the Lord echoes through the skies and seas. The glory God reigns as he thunders in the clouds. So powerful is his voice, so brilliant and bright. How majestic as he thunders over the great waters. Go read it in the Passion Translation or the New King James Version. The God of glory thunders. But here's the verse I'm homing in on today. This is the one who gives strength and might to his people. This is the Lord giving us his kiss of peace. So I pray for you today that you will hear God, that you will know him giving you his kiss of peace today.